She was chained in a basement during the club's party, until the Hell's Angels leader found her. The base shook the walls like a living thing, pounding through concrete and bone, while beneath the laughter and roaring engines, a girl lay chained in darkness, counting each breath as if it might be her last. The smell of oil and damp stone filled her lungs, and every cheer from above felt like a reminder that the world had forgotten she existed. In that basement, while the club's party burned wild and loud, she learned how quiet suffering could be, and how hope could shrink to the size of a heartbeat. If you believe that kindness can appear in the darkest places and that second chances can change lives, take a moment right now to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel for more stories that remind us what humanity can still be. Her name was Mara, though no one above cared enough to ask. She had been dragged into that basement hours earlier, wrists locked in cold iron, ankles heavy with rusted chains that scraped the floor every time she shifted. The concrete pressed chill into her skin, and the single bulb hanging from the ceiling flickered like it was tired of watching. She tried to remember what the sky looked like, tried to remember warmth, but fear crowded every memory. The club was celebrating some victory, some reckless night of power, and she had become an afterthought, a secret hidden below the noise. Time stretched into something shapeless. Her thoughts drifted between panic and numbness, and she clung to small things to stay alive, the sound of water dripping somewhere nearby, the steady rhythm of her breathing, the idea that someone, somewhere, might notice she was missing. Every roar of laughter above made her flinch. She imagined the people dancing, drinking, celebrating freedom, while she lay bound like an object forgotten in storage. The injustice of it burned worse than the cold. The club had a reputation that reached far beyond the city limits. Stories followed them like shadows, tales of loyalty and brutality tangled together. Mara had known to stay away, but desperation had a way of blinding judgment. One wrong turn, one moment of trust, and she was here, learning how fragile safety truly was. Yet even in that darkness, something stubborn inside her refused to fully surrender. She whispered silent promises to herself, not prayers exactly, but reminders that she was still human, still worthy of light. Above her, the party surged on, engines revving, boots stomping, glasses clinking. And then, without warning, the rhythm shifted. The noise didn't stop, but it changed, like a wave hitting a wall. Heavy footsteps descended the stairs, deliberate and unhurried, carrying a weight that felt different from the careless chaos of the others. The door at the top opened, spilling a blade of light down the steps, and for the first time in hours, Mara shielded her eyes from brightness. The man who came down was older, broader, moving with the calm certainty of someone used to command. This was the leader, the one whose presence silenced rooms without effort. He hadn't come to party, he had come because something felt wrong. The air in the basement seemed to tighten as he took in the scene, the chains, the girl, the fear etched into every line of her posture. For a moment, he said nothing, and that silence was louder than the music above. Mara expected anger, cruelty, dismissal. Instead, what she saw unsettled her more than any threat could have. His expression shifted, not to rage, but to something like recognition, as if he had seen this darkness before, perhaps in himself or in a past he didn't speak about. He walked closer, slow enough not to startle her, eyes steady, taking in the bruises, the exhaustion, the quiet dignity she was clinging to by force of will alone. The basement felt smaller, but also, strangely, safer. The leader's presence changed the balance of power in ways Mara couldn't explain. He inspected the chains, the locks, the neglect, and with each detail, the atmosphere grew heavier. Above them, the party continued, oblivious to the turning point forming below. Sometimes, change doesn't arrive with noise or celebration, sometimes it comes with a pause, with someone finally seeing what should never have been hidden. The chains came off not with ceremony, but with intention. Cold metal fell away, clattering to the floor, and Mara's limbs trembled as blood returned to places that had gone numb. She didn't cry at first. Shock held her still, disbelief rooting her to the spot. The leader didn't touch her beyond what was necessary, didn't rush her, didn't look away either. In that moment, he made a choice that would ripple outward, one that defied the careless cruelty that had brought her there. As they moved upstairs, the noise swallowed them again, but it no longer felt invincible. Eyes turned, whispers spread, and something like shame flickered across a few faces. The party faltered, the rhythm breaking as the leader's authority cut through the chaos. Mara felt exposed, vulnerable, yet supported by an invisible barrier formed by his decision. For the first time since being chained, she felt upright, present, real. Outside, night air filled her lungs, cool and sharp, and she realized how close she had been to forgetting what freedom felt like. The leader ensured she was taken somewhere safe, away from the club, away from the shadows that had swallowed her. He didn't ask for gratitude. He didn't offer explanations. Some acts, perhaps, were meant to stand alone, unburdened by excuses or praise. In the days that followed, Mara began the slow work of healing. Fear didn't vanish overnight, and memory still crept in when the world grew quiet. But there was also a new thread woven into her story, a reminder that even in places known for darkness, a single decision could bend the path toward light. She carried that knowledge with her, letting it strengthen her when doubt tried to return. If this story has touched your heart, if it made you feel something deep and human, please take a moment now to like the video, share it with someone who needs hope, and let us know in the comments that stories like this matter. Before this story ends, we have one special request for you. Please comment the word hope below if you believe that no one is beyond redemption and that compassion can appear where we least expect it. Mara never forgot the basement, but it no longer defined her. What stayed with her was the moment the chains fell, the moment someone chose humanity over indifference. And as the world kept turning, loud and complicated and imperfect, she walked forward carrying proof that even in the middle of a club's darkest night, a single act of conscience could set someone free.